to another episode of Speak Podcast, Special People Encouraging a Kid. This is your girl, Barisha Bree, for this podcast, and we are excited to be with you once again. As you all know, Speak stands for, again, Special People Encouraging a kid who has been experienced trauma, bullying, suicidal ideations, considerations, even attempts. We are here to encourage them to live again, to speak up, to speak out, to speak from within. And so, once again, as a disclaimer, if you are considering suicide, having thoughts about doing harm to yourself, reach out to someone. Text 988 to the Suicide Crisis Prevention Hotline. It's the Suicide National Prevention Hotline, and someone will be there to meet, greet, and to speak with you. You're not alone, so don't ever think that you're in this alone. There's other people who may be experiencing what you are experiencing, so don't ever think that you are alone. We're here to walk with you, to walk alongside of you by giving you encouraging words. So thank you for joining us for this episode. And this episode is really talking about what you're carrying. What are you carrying on your shoulders that's weighing you down? We talked about a little bit about this before, but as you see here, we have a bag and we have a book bag here. And I just want to kind of show you what happens when you carry all of this weight on your shoulders. Children, you don't have to. Every time you stuff anger, every time you stuff feelings of rejection, every time you even stuff procrastination, or even if you're stuffing wanting to be accepted or whatever it is, you're putting it on your shoulders. You're weighing yourself down. And I just want to kind of give you a little bit of what that could look like when you're carrying so much weight on you. So this backpack is really, really heavy. And as I lift it up, oh my gosh, it's too heavy for me to even lift it up and put on my back. But as I do, and my posture begins to change because I'm having to lean over because there's too much going on in this bag. This backpack is too heavy for me to just walk as if things are okay. It's too much on my shoulders. It's too much on my back. And just imagine, not only the backpack, but me now picking up a bag to carry as well. And this bag holds weight too. So I am now carrying all of this unnecessary weight on my shoulders, on myself, when all I need to do is release it and share with someone, open up and talk to someone about what is concerning me. And as I begin to do that, the weight becomes a little lighter. It becomes a little easy for me to just continue on in life. My posture from bending over, feeling weighed down, is coming back up. I'm beginning to stand with a better posture. And this is what I want to just talk with you all today, our kids, our students, our children, our youth who are in school and maybe having a hard time being, accepted, or having a tough time with their identity, having anger issues or rejection issues, or being bullied. That's here in the bag. That's here in this bag. If you're dealing with anger, it's here in this bag that you have just stuffed. And it's being suppressed because not only is there anger in here, but now there's worry, there's fear, there's scarcity mindset. You're thinking low about yourself. You're thinking that you're not good enough. And every time those thoughts come to you, it's being stuffed, it's being packed in this backpack. And what do? You don't just leave it there. You feel like this is what I have to carry alone. And you don't. This is not a battle for you to fight alone. Speak to your parents. Talk to your best friend if you have one. If your parents are not around, a caregiver, an adult at school, in your community, in your local church. Speak to a friend's parent. Talk to someone about your situation. There's therapists, licensed clinical professional therapists, psychologists, psychiatrists. Don't be afraid. Don't feel embarrassed because you have to reach out to someone. Like I mentioned before, you're not the only one that's going through this. You can live. You can get through this. You can take the weight off of you and live a life with balance, with dignity, with pride, with your head up. Not to say that you don't have dignity or any of that when you're weighted down, but when all of those things are going on, the anger, the shame, the guilt, the confusion, the frustration, the misunderstanding, the feelings of rejection, the peer pressure stuffed in these bags, that's what you're focusing on. You may be showing up, you may be going to school, but that's what's showing up. And what happens is it's weighted on you and you're not dealing with it, but eventually you're going to have to face it because it's going to get too stuffed that something has to give. Either the strap of the backpack is going to break, the strap on the bag is going to break, something's going to fall out, but you can let it out piece by piece, one by one, pain by pain, problem by problem. You don't have to do it all at once. Let out anger. When you release anger, when you bring it out and talk to someone about it, there's a process that will happen. There's some practical tools that you can receive about the anger that you're dealing with. Speaking to a therapist about your anger, talking to your friend about what angers you. I remember I was going through a time in my life when I didn't recognize the anger until my behavior started to change and I was acting out, doing things that other people noticed, but I did it. And then when I realized what was happening, it brought tears to my eyes because I didn't realize I was being intrusive. I was just speaking to people with no empathy, with no care, because of my own issues that was going on with me. We at Speak, we talk about our concerns, our problems, and we come together just to try to help and support one another. We're not trying to, or even assume like we have the answers. No, we don't. Every content, every time we bring in a guest, it helps us too. And that's why we want to encourage you. So we want to unpack the bags with you. There's luggages of stuff filled, with that's weighted down that we are carrying. There is a backpack, there's a purse, there's luggages, there's other things that we're just, whatever we can stuff, whatever we can just put it aside and try to ignore and not deal with. All we are doing is putting weight. So, what we're wanting to do to help you is to unpack what's going on, your thoughts, those negative thoughts, the way you see yourself, the anger that's weighing you down, the stress, the worry, the fear that's weighing you down. We want to help you to unpack it. So, again, anger was the first thing that I thought about. What is causing the anger? Last year is gone. Is that situation that maybe happened last year? Or is it a situation that happened 2 years ago or some years ago that is revisiting you and that you continue to focus on that anger? Or is it something that's present right now that you're still having to face and deal with and is causing anger? The person or people that may be contributing to the anger may not even know that you're angry. Think about it. You are having to deal with those emotions. You're the one that's going through the pain, the sorrow, the anguish that comes from the bitterness, the anger. You're the one having to carry that weight. And the people, the person that contributed to it, not knowing, and they're going on about their business, they're going on to do to whomever else, or they just don't even know. And often they don't. But more than likely, they do. But nothing's been said, nothing's been addressed, and you're weighing it on your shoulders. You don't have to do that. So, piece by piece, rock by rock, and when I say rock, writing what it is, anger on that rock or on that piece of paper or something heavy, and you pulling it out of your backpack, you pulling it out of your bag, you're pulling it out of the luggage, and you're actually looking at it in writing what caused this anger in me. How can I address this anger? Because I want to be able to live better. I don't want to be an angry person. So address it, talk to someone about it. And I know it sounds easy to do. It sounds easy, but it's hard to do. I've been there. We've been there. But you can do it just by talking. You know, when you tell what is hurting, when you talk to somebody about, what is hurting with you, you begin to feel better. And there's a scripture actually where it talks about how we're overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the testimonies, the conversations, the sharing of our stories, of our testimony to others, that we begin to feel better. That's in Revelations, I believe, 12 and 11. But if not, look it up. But I believe it is. But once you start talking about what is going on, those I statements, talking to someone who may have hurt you, to just really say to them, I feel angry when you do this. I feel depressed because you said that. Once you start to open up and talk to someone, it may not be the person who actually doing the hurt or the harm, you begin to feel better. So we hope that you practice opening up, talking to someone, piece one by one, anger, rejection one by one, and just really breaking it down, looking at what happened, what caused those feelings, those emotions, and begin to let it out, release it so that the weight can be gone. Okay? You don't have to be heavy laden, you don't have to be burdened down. You can live in victory. You can live with hope. You can live in happiness. When you go to school, you go in feeling recharged and rejuvenated, saying, hey, I am ready for this day. Not pretending, not, with all the weight carried on you, but going in because you are you're picking up anger, rejection, you're taking it out piece by piece, one by one, and you begin to float. You begin to start feeling light again and not heavy or weighed down. So I hope that this helps you just We have some tangible things right here, some things that is really visible that you can just practice at home. Get with your families, your parents, or even ask a teacher, hey, can we have a group about weight that we're carrying on our shoulders, and get your backpacks and fill it up with stuff that's really heavy, and try to walk with it and see what happens. And then start taking it out one by one, piece by piece, and feel yourself feeling light again. You can do it because you can live again. Speak up, speak out, speak from within, not again, but speak again, but speak from within. We are Speak Podcast, special people encouraging a kid to live again.